Right everyone, what's happening? Welcome to the next video. So, with Simon tonight, we are somewhere. So, you ever fished here before? No. Right, so the pair of us are somewhere we've never fished before. Underneath the White Cliffs, we are at a place called St Margaret's Bay in Kent, in between Deal and Dover. I've been here, I've driven down here just to have a look. I don't know, I was down this way one day with the missus and the kids and we drove down and just to drive down here because I've never been here. And this trip's been planned a couple of days. Now I thought I was going somewhere else. What I had in my head, the picture of the place I had in my head was somewhere else. So yeah, that's not obviously not where we are. But this is, so we're fishing, well to me this is local because we're still in Kent. I had a dogfish first chuck about 25-30 minutes ago. I've been pissing about and doing other bits since then. So this is going to be the start of the Kent COD quest. Now, this cod, doesn't matter if it's a codling, a codlet, it could be a £25 cod. As long as I get a codling from Kent this year, I'll be happy. I'm still going to do all my other trips, going up, well, I don't know if I'm going to go Bristol Channel because it's a bit of a ball ache. But I'll be definitely going up north and I'll be going to Chesil and still travelling about and that I do what I do. Probably not as much as last year because things are a bit harder this year, not just for me but for everyone. And the cost of diesel and all that. Anyway, so we're going to try and get one a bit closer to home. This does mean there's going to be a lot of whiting and dogfish trips. And I'm sitting here now, half an hour, 45 minutes into this COD quest, saying that doesn't matter. I'm going to push through it. Whether I'll be saying that at the end of the day and I'll be like, no, stuff this, let's go up north. Let's go and get a cod, or let's go to Chesil. I don't know. There has been a few caught in the local area this year so far, which can only be a good thing, really. There was a few on this very beach, apparently. But when we got down here at low water, I don't know if you can still see over there. So that ground there, that's all rough ground. That's obviously, that gets covered over. But there was there's patches of it all the way along this beach. Me and Si are fishing in the Grom, which is the cleanest. There's still a little bit of rough ground in front of Si, but he should be able to cast over that and be able to retrieve over the top of it and not get snagged, whereas I'm pretty clean, although there's a little bit of broken ground all over the place. It is ideal ground for codling. They're coming in feeding on shrimp and small crabs and stuff in the weed. It also means it's ideal ground for bass and all sorts of other fish, but it just looks really, really nice. Now we was going to fish Dill Pier tonight. I haven't fished Dill Pier for years, one because of the snags and two just because it's just full of whiting and dogfish. But again, there's been a few codling caught off there. So we thought about it. I am sort of beginning to wish I did because I've got no signal here whatsoever and I wanted to go live tonight on my TikTok. But literally it says I'm in France. I've got no phone signal, no internet signal. It's absolutely terrible. I forgot my SD card for my GoPro as well, so I'm filming on my phone tonight. Yeah. But we're here, we're giving it a go. I've got a bite on this rod actually. So I've got bait wise tonight. Couldn't get no blacks because they're tiny tides. So I've got, sorry about the finger, I've got some commons from Medway Tackle Supplies today. Some nice commons there, lovely. And I've also got some ragworm, again, today from Medway Tackle Supplies. There's some really nice, big, fat, juicy ones there, as you can see. Look at the length of that, look. It's as long as a newspaper. But there's a couple of smaller ones in there. The good thing about it today is I was wrapping the bait for everyone, so I got to choose what I want. And I took a mixture for myself, a couple of bigger ones and a couple of smaller ones, which most people want anyway, so it's not like I've done anyone out of any bait. But yeah, Si's got some squid and some bluey as well. We're just going to see how it goes. Our walk was at about 11 o'clock, half 11, so we'll probably fish till then. We've both got work in the morning, so we don't want to be too late. But yeah, we're going to give it a bash. Tonight, you're going to get to see a dogfish, I reckon, because I'm going to film as much of it as I can. And I'll show you the rigs and stuff. In fact, while I've got you in now, all I'm using is a simple pulley rig. I even made some rigs last night. How about that? Just a simple pulley rig with a pair of 4.0 hooks. Now, these are the new hooks from Seaglow. These are the Contaro hooks. I think that's how they pronounce it. Or I might pronounce it. Let me show you them, because they are sexy. Oh, I've also got something else to show you as well. So, here's my little bits box. So these are, I say the old hooks. These are the original hooks from Seaglow. So these are the Catos. And they've got the funny point on them, if you remember rightly. You can probably just about see that point. Got the grooves either side and it's flat on the inside. Here, rather than, that was the 3.0, this is the 5.0. So hopefully it'll pick up. For those of you that don't know, you don't want to pick it up. Just turn it over and show you on the inside. So you can see that nice flat. Can you see that flat point? No, you can't. Oh well, you can see it in other videos. These are the new hooks, the Kentaros. So this is the size 6.0. They come from 1.0s, I think, up to 8.0s. I've actually got some 8.0s somewhere. Look at that. They're like a short shank, wide gape hook. They are lovely. Very strong as well. They'll be like, I would have thought they'll be like the big mouth versions of other branded hooks. I'm in love with them already. And so far they catch dogfish. To be fair, I used these out on the boat the other day, and they were catching all the fish we caught out there, which wasn't many, cuttlefish and stuff, even though they didn't get hooked. What did I catch on an actual hook out there last? No, we didn't. We broke down, and yeah, didn't really get much. I caught some bass on some lures. I caught some mackerel on some feathers, and I caught some cuttlefish with no hooks, just hanging onto my mackerel because it was a greedy get. So yeah, forget about that on the boat. Anyway, everybody knows headlights. All the time I've done YouTube, I have used Fenix. I've always loved them. I've mentioned them a few times to say that I use them. Never to get anything out of it because, well, just because it's I already had one, and it's what I genuinely think, in my opinion, are the best head torches out there. Yes, they're more expensive than your cheap Cree ones you can get online that are 20 million lumens and light up the whole world, but they only last for 3 hours and then they're dead and you have to chuck them away. Now, that doesn't go for every headlight. Don't get me wrong, some people might have them in a few years, but for the amount I use mine, use it for work, use it for digging, use it for fishing, just generally use it. The Fenix is everything I need and everything I want. And like I say, I think I've been using them 6, 7, maybe 8 years, and I've only ever had 2. And the only reason my last one died is because while it was on charge, the charger point got knocked and it snapped the charger in it, which ruined it. It broke the charger point, which was through my fault. Otherwise, I have no doubt in my mind that head torch would still be running. So I bought a new one. I bought the HR65, which I've got on my head. Anyway, the other day I had a message from Fenix Light on Instagram. Lovely lady, said she'd seen my videos and appreciated the shout outs basically that I've given them over the few years I've been doing YouTube, and would I like to try out one of their new head torches. Well, yes, obviously. Does a bear shit in the woods? Of course I would. So here it is. So they sent me out this as a bit of a thank you. So this is the HM50, and the R just stands for rechargeable. Now this is only a small headlight. This is probably like one below mine. So mine's about 100 quid. These ones are about 50 quid, 45, 50 quid from what I could see online. But on its lowest setting, it's got 4 settings. On its lowest setting, it will last for 42 hours on a full charge. On its highest setting, at 700 lumens, it will only last an hour. But that is bright. Look, let me turn my head torch off on my head. It's a bit dark. There we go. We've only got daylight. So that's one setting. I don't know if that, hang on, let's see how it goes. So that's 1. That's the lowest setting. Now that head torch there, I can shine it up at my tips. You guys can't see it, but I can see my tips. Doing in here, you can see all the bait properly. Now that is more than enough light. You can see absolutely everything. See me dirty great plates of meat, my reels, and like I say, I can see my rods, but the camera's not quite picking it up. Well, you can, look, up and down. So that setting there will last you 42 hours, which I think is fantastic. The next one goes up, I think that's something like 8 or 10 hours. And again, that's showing everything. That's lighting Simon up for me as well. 8 to 10 hours. There's not many people that need an head torch on the beach or whatever you're doing for more than 8 to 10 hours. So I'd probably get away with that. And the next one goes up, I think that's about 3 or 4 hours. And again, I mean, that's lighting up the cliffs over there for me. All the toilet block and people in the camper vans, all the doggers over there. That was a joke. And then the high setting. Was that the high setting? Yeah, 2, 3. There we go. Now that's even better. Showing up all the tops of it. Look at that. For such a little lead torch. Now bearing it all right, this one will only last an hour. But you don't need nothing that bright. You really don't. Look at that, look. So again, this is not me trying to sell it. This is me just showing what Fenix sent me as a thank you, basically. And if anyone out there was looking for a new head torch, obviously I'm going to recommend Fenix, because I think they're brilliant. I really, really do. So again, thank you for them. Right, that's enough of me jabbering on. I will speak to you when I reel in a dogfish, because I'm sure it won't be long. Right guys, quick update. We've moved. We both were getting snagged down at the other mark. Every time basically we didn't reel in a fish, we were losing gear. So we both decided, pack up, move a bit further along the beach towards Dill, so we're at Warmer now. I've never fished here either. That's another Kent beach. I fished various parts of Dill Beach all the way along, but never actually fished in this spot, so we're giving this a go. I've continued with a pulley rig with a 4-0 pennel on it for chancing for a codling. But I've also gone with a 2-hook flapper with quite long snood, size 4 matching scratch hooks, and a little loomy bead close in with ragworm, because I know they're getting a few sole here. I've had a rattle on the little rod, which is definitely a whiting rattle, and I've just had a bit of a knock on the bigger rod, which is probably another whiting having a go at it, or a dogfish, or maybe even a codling, but I don't think I'm that lucky. But either way, I'll show you whatever fish it is. There we are guys, first fish, a slippery, slimy little eel. It's just snapped through my 10-pound line because it's tangled itself right up. What a pain in the arse. Oh well, it's better than a white on a dogfish. I'll take that, even though it has snapped my rig. It's not a problem because it's only a flat where I'll just pull that hook out of his little mouth and I'll just tie it back on. And then I'll get it back. Right, in a bit. Right, Kent cod complete. Simon caught it though, so I am looking for new fishing friends. If you want to inbox me at simonisagoner.com. Listen, it is a codlet, and I did say to you earlier, we'll take a codlet. That is a codling from Kent, and it's the first one I've seen in Kent for 7 years. Well done, Si.
I do.
Well done. Anyway, people, Simon's a massive prick. I don't like him no more. No, listen, I'm buzzing for that, to be fair. I can't believe he's just caught a codling. Get in. Well, listen, we came, we saw, Simon conquered. When I say conquered, listen, I know it's tiny. There's a good bite. I know it's tiny, but it's what we came for, so it is the target species. Happy days. Well done, Si. I'm buzzing with that, to be fair. Over the moon for him. It's made the trip worth it now, even for that little fish. I know there'll be people sitting there and going, oh, what a load of shit. But do you know what? Like I said, we came for a codling and we got one. I just hope I'll get one now. I had the first one the other week when we went out. So hopefully I'll get the second one this time. In a bit. We don't piss about here on the Fish Hunter channel. Cod number 2. Again, it's small, but it's bigger. Well done, Si. On the ragworm again. Double or a cocktail.
That's a black.
That's a black. Well, happy days. Well, I'm still just fishing for eels, me. Oh well. Well, the whiting have started. I've had a couple of whiting in quick succession. Si just had another dogfish. But do you know what? A couple of codling. We couldn't have hoped for more, to be fair. All right, we wanted them bigger. We wanted more of them, but realistically, for Kent, that's bloody good. Really, really good. See, I'm over the moon. Just a quick one, guys. I met up with a subscriber of mine, Steve, Sitting Bong Steve. He's been watching my channel for a few years. He's had some hard times over the last couple of years with health and stuff like that, like really, really horrible times. And he's still recovering now and struggling, physically, mentally, financially. And I just want to say, mate, all the best from me. from all the boys that fish with us. I met up with Steve the other day actually, and it was absolutely a pleasure to meet up with him and have a good chat. And he told me what watching the videos has helped when he's been spending months and months and months in hospital, and the only thing really that kept him sane was watching the channel. Not just me, obviously, the lads we fish with, I fish with, Steve and Sam and Si, my brothers, and all that. We don't see everyone so much anymore, but everyone's obviously got their day-to-day life. But yeah, all the best, Steve. We're all thinking of you, mate, and hopefully as soon as you're able and a bit fitter, we'll have you on the beach catching whiting and dogfish, I'm sure. Take it easy, mate. Right, people, I need a cod. The tide is ripping. Well, look at the tips of my rods. It is ripping, and I'm casting up and over the other side of Simon. It's just ripping me straight back round. But yeah, we got a little while left yet. Hopefully we'll see a couple more.